think I knew that my luck was going to run out, that I was putting myself in very dangerous situations, playing my life forward. I knew I could never maintain a healthy marriage, or that I would embarrass myself eventually professionally. I just did not think I was alcoholic, because to me, alcoholics are not people who were in graduate school getting their masters and doing really well professionally and having lots of friends and considering themselves happy. But I couldn't imagine my life without alcohol, so it was a really scary moment for me. When people hear the word alcoholic, the A word, as I like to call it, they so often envision an old homeless man or a person whose life is falling apart, and actually it's a higher percentage out in society succeeding and doing well and who don't fit that stereotype. Other drugs are not as socially acceptable as alcohol. Would you like a glass of wine is a very innocent comment, but yet it's so prevalent, and I hear so often for people trying to get sober, but alcohol's everywhere. I hear mothers talking about it to the point where mothers are watching their children on play dates and drinking, to the point where after work, that's what people do. They don't have any other means of communicating with each other or of bonding with each other. That's what people are doing watching sporting events. It just seems to be everywhere. So not only do you get sober, but you also have to reconfigure your lifestyle, which can be very, very hard. So often I've said to people, if you felt the way I felt when I drank alcohol, you would be an alcoholic too. And, I've spoken with and compared my experience of having a drink with a normal drinker, social drinker, and we're reporting different effects. Whereas a social drinker would feel relaxed and then maybe a little bit ill if they had too much. They'd start to feel worse. I being alcoholic, would feel better and better and more euphoric. And in fact, I didn't really get the relaxed sense. I almost got a energized sense from the alcohol. People define alcoholism based on the outside things. They oftentimes just think it's what you look like or the way that you're living your life, but really it's about your relationship to alcohol and what happens to you when you drink alcohol. Towards my mid-20s, when other people were moving on with their lives or they were getting engaged and married and they weren't drinking in the way that I was, I started to feel embarrassed about the way that I was behaving. I set out to have one amount and I drank another, and I woke up and didn't know where I was, and I had the same guilty feeling that I was slowly becoming weary from. And I just remember looking up at the ceiling, feeling horrific, knowing that my friends would be upset at me. I had disappeared, I had taken off, no one knew where I was. And I just remember feeling, I can't do this anymore. People continue to drink and drive, and yet, there's shame and stigma around that. But it seems like when somebody finally says, I do have a problem, I need to address it, they feel very embarrassed about that, which is kind of backwards in a sense. When I got sober, I was paranoid that anyone would find out that I was in recovery. I have since felt a sense of pride around the fact that I've taken responsibility for this issue, and I feel like if I can have the courage to maybe have people associate alcoholism with a different image, that they too may have the courage to come forward and get help.